Santiago del Carmen Maria, the queen of crowning thought. I speak truth unapologetically. It's my
Massive rebuke to MAGA cruelty. Hakeem Jeffries exposes how Republicans betrayed Trump to save millions from healthcare nightmare in a thunderous victory for everyday Americans and a devastating blow to MAGA heartless agenda. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries laid bare the shocking truth. A courageous group of Republicans defied Donald Trump and their own extremist leadership to force and pass a bill extending critical Affordable Care Act subsidies, preventing catastrophic premium spikes that would have crushed working families. Jeffries spilled the beans without mercy, highlighting how these GOP rebels, facing the rage of their constituents, joined Democrats in a bipartisan coalition to bypass Speaker Mike Johnson's blockade and deliver real relief. This isn't just a legislative win. It's proof that MAGA grip is cracking under the weight of its own failures, as even Republicans abandoned Trump's callous indifference to skyrocketing healthcare costs. The bombshell unfolded on January 8, 2026, when the House overwhelmingly passed the bill 230 to 196, extending enhanced ACA subsidies for 3 years and shielding over 20 million Americans from brutal premium hikes that began slamming wallets at the start of the year. These subsidies, expanded during the pandemic to make coverage affordable, expired on December 31, 2025, thanks to MAGA obstruction, triggering average increases of 114% for marketplace enrollees, with millions facing impossible choices between medicine, food, or rent. But Democrats, led by the fearless Jeffries, refused to let Trump and his enablers starve families of health care. Through a rare discharge petition, a procedural powerhouse that circumvents leadership, Jeffries rallied all Democrats and lured 17 Republicans into rebellion, forcing the vote despite Johnson's desperate attempts to bury it. Jeffries didn't hold back in his fiery post-vote press conference, invoking Trump's own dismissive words to eviscerate the MAGA myth. The affordability crisis is not a hoax, it is very real, despite what Donald Trump has had to say. He celebrated the bipartisan coalition that exposed the fractures in GOP unity, declaring this a meaningful step forward to lower the high cost of living for everyday Americans, particularly as it relates to health care. And he was right. The Congressional Budget Office projects this extension will keep millions insured, adding 100,000 covered this year, surging to 4 million in 2028, while averting a humanitarian disaster engineered by Trump's obsession with dismantling Obamacare. How did this stunning upset happen? Trace it back to the end of 2025, when MAGA Republicans let the subsidies lapse amid partisan gridlock, prioritizing tax giveaways to billionaires over families battling medical bills. Trump, ever the chaos agent, had urged House Republicans to take control of health care in a rambling speech, pushing his pet idea of direct payments via health savings accounts while mocking affordability concerns as fake. Speaker Johnson sided with the hardline wing, refusing to schedule a vote on any clean extension, offering instead watered-down reforms that ignored the crisis. But rank-and-file Republicans in swing districts, staring down voter fury over doubled premiums, revolted. 4 moderates first signed Jeffries' discharge petition in December, hitting the magic 218 signatures to force action. By vote day, that grew to 17 GOP yeses, including reps from Pennsylvania and New York, who knew their political survival depended on rejecting Trump's sabotage. These defectors, names like Brian Fitzpatrick, Mike Lawler, and others, delivered the ultimate shock to Trump, proving that even within his party, the human cost of MAGA extremism is too high to ignore. Jeffries masterfully exposed this divide, turning what MAGA hoped would be a quiet expiration into a public humiliation, while Trump railed against handouts and dreamed of gutting the ACA entirely. These Republicans chose people over party loyalty, voting to restore subsidies that keep cancer patients in treatment, diabetics supplied with insulin, and families free from bankruptcy-inducing bills. This victory illuminates the broader MAGA betrayal. For years, Trump promised to replace Obamacare with something beautiful, but delivered nothing but failed repeal attempts in his first term and deliberate expiration now. His administration's policies have inflated costs across the board. Tariffs driving up drug prices, cuts to safety nets leaving the vulnerable exposed, and rhetoric dismissing real pain as hoax. Millions entered 2026 with sticker shock, premiums exploding, enrollments dropping, hospitals losing revenue while Trump partied at Mar-a-Lago. But Jeffries and Democrats fought relentlessly, from shutdown battles to this discharge triumph, proving they're the only ones standing between Americans and MAGA war on healthcare. The fight isn't over. The bill heads to a Republican Senate where extremists may try to gut it or add poison pills like Hyde Amendment restrictions. But pressure is mounting for compromise, with bipartisan senators eyeing deals and public outrage boiling. Jeffries vowed to continue to wage this battle, making healthcare the defining issue of 2026 midterms. As premiums stabilize under this extension, voters will remember who saved them and who tried to let them suffer. This is the crack in MAGA armor we've been waiting for. Republicans shocking Trump by siding with Democrats shows the tide turning against cruelty disguised as policy. We must amplify this win, demand Senate action, hold defectors accountable as heroes, and expose the rest as Trump's puppets. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege for the wealthy. Jeffries spilled the beans, and the truth is liberating. Rise up, resist, and reclaim our future from those who would trade lives for loyalty. Follow so we can stay connected. Your support matters more than you know, and I appreciate every moment you give to listen. Your support is important to me, and it helps me a lot. It keeps me active, bringing you important information with your support and comments, likes and shares. Feel free to like, support, and subscribe. I will always provide content for you. I appreciate every support you give. Crowning Thoughts True Speaker Copyright 2025 by Santiago D.C. Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all and I appreciate each of you. Stay blessed. Thank you for listening. Love always. Santiago D.C. Maria.